Now today we're looking at the Marvel Legends super villains Marvel Marvel Jigsaw. Now he is one of Punisher's rogues gallery, which is technically he is a someone who fights against the Punisher. So he's the and I will guess one of his villains. So yeah, I will say I did pick this up at I think CVS. So I did pick up there and I bought it for $22. And this is a older figure, so you will see the pins within the limbs. And he did not stand well. But for the accessory he has, I think it's pretty cool. Was I doing the box for what it is? It just shows certain members 3 times over, which it kind of makes sense. I will say, but some of the newer boxes have shown different images at times. It depends on which one you're picking up. But let's see. Let's look at Jigsaw and let's see if it's worth your money. Okay, now we're going to look at one of Punisher's other villains, and this is part of the Marvel Legends wave, which is technically the super villains wave. I bought this at CVS or CVS Rock. I don't remember. Whatever. I will say for the answer you do get. I think it's pretty good. I will say he can't stand properly. What the man? Like, boy can't stand worth a shit. He's like a fat ass that can't stand on its own damn legs. I don't know what the fuck it is either. And also, it's old figure too because you can see the pins actually. I will say it is. I won't say go to figure, but yeah. I will say the joints are ratchet, but I do like my ratchet joints. So for me, I'm fine with that. You only get only one pair of hand, which is one is a trigger finger hand and one to hold a weapon, but you get few. And I will say Jigsaw looks actually pretty good. Especially with his face because this is comic variant, and I do like how it looks on him. The suit looks pretty good for being a basic white suit figure. It's not bad looking. To pop the head off and need to take this off. And it's just a simple hinge joint that they've been using so long now. But you get that collar thing out of the way. He does have more range within the head. I don't know, grab because would be part of his figure. Stamp. And the joints feel gummy. Like, you can bend them really loosely. There you go. Poor bats that can't stand. You can put it on the box. For the accessories, you do get is a bat, a machete, which that looks pretty cool actually. 2 knives, same style, and these are already pretty cool because these are like they've been used already on both, which is actually a very cool detail. A short barrel shotgun or double barrel shotgun, and you also get some effects. So you get a boom effect. You get 2 of these, but they can't go in at the same time, which sucks because. I mean, you could try, but it's right there. You can do it. It is possible. And you also get some smoke effect. You get 2 of them, yes. Oh, God. Which also pretty good, too, because it also gives you a reason to have a puncher with this figure. And they're 2 different shapes also. They're not the same shaping. Which I kind of like that part because it does break away from having the same parts within this. And I will say, the shotgun looks really, really good, actually. Now, the figure itself is pretty gummy, like I said. But it is double jointed. but stiff as all hell. Ugh. Now, the other legs is pretty good, actually. Your default pivots makes sense. You could go down that far, up this far, so not much. There is a waist pivot right here, well, which is actually not really bad. I kind of like that. There's not that much articulation in the body. Arms can go up that far up, full 360 around. Delta jointed arms. Head can look up that far and down that far, which is it can look more far down actually. So I thought it could look down enough, but it does break the mode because you can see where the neck was a little too small. The hands they can aim at a lower angle. Same with this one. But the accessory do go in hand pretty good, and I have a Punisher next to me, and not a comic book version of the character. I probably need to get a comic book version of the character. So you have, like I said, he holds it pretty well actually. And with the shotgun, he really can't hold it as well, which is kind of weird. I'm gonna be honest with you, Bucko. Because sometimes his finger, it feels like it's not going into trigger, which is no good. Am I no? And it actually looks pretty good in hand, I will say. I mean, size-wise, he is your average figure in the suit. I wish they could make an updated version of him with no pins and some things where he's not, for some he could stand properly, because holy fuck, he can't stand one damn bit. There you go, got him stand, Jesus. Here's the Born Again Punisher. If I had a comic book version of him, I would. But I have a comic book version of Daredevil. And here is the Liebert Knight. Which is kind of funny. You have something like this. That's why I had the figure right next to me, so yeah. I had the knife for the reason. But, like, get to my final thoughts on this figure. I mean, for what he is a basic figure. For the most part, he does a basic figure in a suit, which is sometimes you get a guy in a suit. That's mainly what you get at times. But that's who he is, a guy in a suit. What would you expect? I mean, it is cool that he does have swivels at the feet, but that doesn't say much when he can barely stand as a figure. And he barely comes with any other hands, which kind of sucks because I wish he came with more hands, like fist or open hands, in case you want to have him like he's holding something, holding the weapons. Yeah. My computer fell. But for being a basic figure, it kind of makes sense, and I think he's cool looking. But you have the comic version of the character. That's where the run in. You need the comic version of the character of Punisher. I have some of the show versions. Well, I get a show version of them. And I also have the Daredevil from the comics, but that's a Secret Wave version of them. So technically, I have that version of the character. So it does work within the comic line. I mean, it has some Spider-Man, Green Goblin, some other figures from the area. It makes sense too. But it's really up to you and pick up this for your own collection. I will say it's not the best. I will say it is cool looking, but not the best looking. And for lack of accessories, hand wise, it does suffer on that part because the limbs are gummy. Especially the lights was super gummy. You really need to twist them a little too much, and I wish they had an updated version of this figure to really go with it. I would say if they ever do an update of Jigsaw, I would say that'd be really good. Because I think this would be needed by now because the fact that the limbs full gummy, and if you are not careful, you will rip them off or break them. But if you're willing to take that chance, that's up to you. You have the option. I don't have the option. I really just don't care if you do your figures. But I would say he's nice looking. But that's all I can say. So, and tell me, what do you think? Would you pick this off your own collection or something like that? So, and also, I am so tired. I only worked this morning. I had like 2 hours of sleep. Could be. I had like 2 hours of sleep. Not good because I 2 hours of sleep and been up since then. So, I hope you have a good day, y'all, and see you next review. Actually.